Getting out of debt can feel just impossible, but it doesn't have to be. I'm going to break down a strategy today that can help you pay off your debt faster than you ever thought was possible, where you felt encouraged and you felt like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this. So, the method today is the snowball method. And I'm going to set up this spreadsheet and I'm going to show you how to set it up and to where you're seeing actual progress, and then you feel encouraged that, like, hey, I can do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all of our debts on this tracker, and we're going to set it up by the smallest balance to the largest balance. So first of all, we've got the gas credit card. It's our lowest balance. It's got $450 on it. And it doesn't matter what the percentage rate is, it just matters what the balance is. Because the goal is if you pay off the smallest one faster, you go, oh my gosh, I can do that. And then the next one isn't so hard. So let's just say the next one is a furniture credit card. And say you just bought some furniture and you've got a balance of $1,200 on there. You've got an interest rate of 23%. So I'm just putting in that 23 number. And then it's going to show you how much your interest is that month. And then let's say your minimum payment is $100 a month. And then you decide you're going to pay a little bit more. You're going to pay $125 that month. It's going to tell you what your current balance is. And then let's make a goal. And let's say we want to pay it off. Let's say it's by September. It's telling you that you've got 10 months. If you paid off $125 a month, you would pay that off in 10 months. Okay, so we're going to put our next card on there, and let's say this is a clothing credit card, and then say we've got $2,200 in there. We're putting in the APR 12%. It's going to tell us that interest for the month. Minimum payment is $100 again, and say we're going to try to pay $120 off. If we did $120, it's going to take us 20 months. Now, if we bump that up, the thing is if you did this snowball method and we were able to pay off that gas credit card pretty quickly, you can take that extra $100 and you can put it on the next one, and then you can pay it off faster. So say if we got that one knocked out, and then so say we paid this off, and then your total debt, what was that? Your total debt was $3,475. And then if we paid that off, then your debt is now $3,125. And then you can take off that payment, what was $100 a month, and put this towards the next one for the next month. That way you can pay off this next one in only 5 months, when before it was twice as long. So that's what makes it a little bit more encouraging. So when you're paying off these smaller debts, you go, oh my gosh, now I have the extra money in my budget, and I've paid off that gas credit card, and I was paying minimum of $100. If I do that, now I can pay the second card off in faster. So let me go ahead and add in a couple more. So we've got the clothing credit card. Say we've got a regular credit card. And we've got $5,000 on it. Big interest rate. Minimum payment's $125. I'm going to just pay the minimum balance for now, and I'm hoping to pay that off by, I say, next year. So if we just did the minimum payment, it's going to be 73 months to pay that off. And then let's just say we'll get a little bit bigger, and then we'll put in our school loans. We'll put in our school loans. That's only 6% interest. We have to pay $200 a month. We're going to pay that off in like 5 years. And then let's get a little bit bigger, and then we'll go and say, let's say our car payment, and then say that one is $31,000, and you've got an APR. Let's say that's 3%. Your minimum payment, I think, is $400, and let's just say your payment of $550 in there. So now that we've got this set up, so you can see this a little bit better. So let's say we'll come in and we're going to try to pay off this a little bit faster. So we come in and we're going to do a payment of $225, and we're going to pay that off in 5 months. Once we pay off, and remember our debt's $58,000. Once we pay that off and we're paying $225 a month, now we can pay down our clothing credit card, and we had $225, so now we're going to add this into there, so that's going to be $425. And we had 11 months we were going to pay it off. Now we're going to get this down to 5. So see how if you're paying off your loans and you're paying them off in the snowball method, then you can really tackle some of those payments. Plus, you're going to pay less interest overall by paying these off. So once we get that one knocked out, then we can go and say, hey, we're going to add $425 to this next one. So that's going to be $550. And you're going to pay off your main credit card. And see, if you did that, so you were doing this in 5 months, and then now it's going to take you only 9 months to pay that off. So you'll be able to really hammer down. And once you get up to these big numbers, you'll be able to snowball and add all of that on there. So by the time we're here, you'll be able to pay something crazy down. And instead of paying your car loan off in 60 months, if you snowballed, paid off all the rest of them, then you'd have a good $1,500 to pay towards that car loan. And you're paying that off in like, what, a year and a half? A little bit more than a year and a half. And that's pretty amazing because we were starting out paying that off in 5 years. So you're cutting your time down of paying off your debt so much faster if you just basically really try to like inch down and work on the smallest one first. So if you come in here and you've got, your gas card and you've got some smaller ones, I would really recommend just trying to hammer out those first, and then that way you've got some extra wiggle room in your budget to pay off, and you've got an extra $100 a month, and then soon you've got $225 a month. You can hammer this out, and then once you start seeing those big numbers come at your debt, it's going to be so much more encouraging to be able to make big payments and to these big numbers like your school loans and your car. And then, when you start doing that, you'll feel a lot more encouraged. So I would recommend doing it this way, and just keep track of it. Get one of those like thermometers. That's what I did. Was I had like a piece of paper, and it was a thermometer, and then you could just highlight like, hey, my goal is to pay off $30,000 of debt. That seems really scary, but if you're doing it in little chunks, it makes it so much more manageable. And you can highlight down while you're getting the thermometer filled out, and it'll be a lot more encouraging, even if it feels like you don't have a whole lot to pay towards it. So anyways, you can get this tracker on my website at savvyandthriving.com. I have lots of other spreadsheets that could help you. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out, and I hope